Yeah, so I'm actually coming to you from the future. I didn't really think about vlogging at the time properly, so it wasn't until after that I thought actually it'd be quite nice just to have a little training vlog put in. So we went out, I think it was a couple of weeks, probably about a month ago now actually. We were supposed to be doing arena eventing, a competition, but it was in that cold snap, so when everything just froze over. So the competition was cancelled sadly, but there was 2 of us from this yard going, and then 2 friends that used to be here from another yard that were also going. So we all decided to do some arena hire instead, just down the road, a little indoor, well not little, but a lovely indoor arena down the road. Which has some jumps and everything, and yeah, just so we didn't miss out. So that was really, really good. You'll see obviously the video shortly, but yeah, it was okay. Belle is not great with indoor arenas in general. We actually went really late in the evening. I think the hire was at 5 or 6, and obviously not used to going out that sort of time, so I think she was just a bit all over the place with that as well. Yeah, she was very, very spooky at everything. There was a filler that I just couldn't even get her to walk near, which we didn't end up doing. She's always had a bit of a problem with show jumping fillers. She's not straightforward to them, and can be quite spooky with them. And yeah, just felt that bit. We had some new tack as well, had new bridle, new breastplate and martingale. The martingale was definitely too long, so it wasn't really doing its job. So yeah, it was a little bit tricky. You'll see coming up what I'm talking about, but it was just nice to get out. It's good to have the experience, keep going into places that I know she doesn't love, like indoor arenas, and just yeah, keep going with that. I don't want to say too much without you seeing, but yeah, overall had a nice time. It was lovely to see some friends that we haven't seen for a while, and yeah, it's always good to have a little outing, isn't it? I think Belle was a bit confused as to what was going on that late at night, but I think she enjoyed it overall. She was very up for it. So yeah, without further ado, I will shoot you back in time to our arena hire. So as you can see, obviously had a little tumble. You're going to see another angle in a minute as well. Lovely. We had problems with this wall the whole way through, as you'll see. I thought we'll have a lead just to get Belle over. She is not great with fillers for show jumping. We've always sort of had that problem. I just preempted a jump there, so was in an awkward position. I'm annoyed that I fell off at all because, again, I was sat too far forward, and that is what caused me to land on the ground. So we got Belle over after a couple of leads. However, going on during the session, she does not go over the jump first time, so it was quite tricky. There was another jump that had Union Jack fillers that I just didn't even attempt, as I couldn't get her to even walk near it. It just seemed like a battle for another day. We were struggling with that distance. I had built it short, and where I wasn't gathering her up enough, we just weren't getting it. We pulled it out a little bit, and you'll see later we do get it, so that's quite good. We had some really nice jumps over everything else. It was just this wall that was problematic. To be honest, I know a lot of it was my riding, and I'm quite annoyed with myself. We were just there with friends. We didn't have an instructor or anything, which I know would have made a difference. But I really got in my head. Obviously, I'd just fallen off, but it was just more reverting to this backwards way of riding that I do when I get scared from issues I had with my horse before. I just stop riding basically, and then that continues to cause a problem, which then doesn't help my confidence, and we just go in a loop. So, and especially if I don't have someone there on the ground to sort of snap me out of it, it just carries on. So yes, we do keep having stops at this, but like if if I'd actually got after her more, then we probably could have been a bit more successful. But a lot of this was me. Obviously, Belle wasn't keen on it, you can tell, but it was just me not riding. My leg wasn't there, and I'm just sort of hoping for the best that she'll go over it. Nearer the end, I do get a bit more fed up myself, and just we get over. This time I thought, right, we'll carry on with some other jumps that she feels confident with, and we'll come back to it. I didn't want to have a lead again because I knew she'll just go over it with a lead, and we had done it now by ourselves, which was, I think, a little bit more frustrating that she kept stopping. But as I said, realistically, a lot of it was me. So we've carried on round some more jumps. I think I'm going to come and have another go at it. I should also mention I had a different bridle and breastplate and martingale on her that I hadn't used before. The martingale was too long, so it wasn't really doing its job. And the bridle was fine. I think we've settled into that now. But yeah, just the martingale wasn't really as it should have been. So I didn't feel totally comfortable with what I had in my hand and what I had in front of me. So I think that, again, didn't help. These are all little excuses, if you like, but that's sort of the truth of it, really, how I felt. So again, we got another lead because obviously we've tried God knows how many times now, and she's fine. You know, she's not actually scared of it at this point, I don't think. I think it is just I'm not there for her at all, and she's like, well, I'm not going to do it then. Good girl. I was really pleased how we finally nailed that distance. As I said, it was short, but it meant you actually needed to ride in between the two jumps. So I was really happy we nailed that at the end. And I was also really happy with how fresh she started and how I got her more rideable during the session. So that was something to take away, and something, again, that I can struggle with her sometimes. And eventually we did get over the wall. I don't think we ever got over it first time, but this was the best attempt. We only had one silly run out, and then that was when I got a bit fed up with the whole scenario and actually rode, which funnily enough helps. And then we carried on, but everything else was great. We had to put the jumps up and away within the hour, so there wasn't as much to jump as would have liked if it had all been set up before, which is something that we can bear in mind for next time. But it was so nice to get out somewhere else. I wish I had given that Union Jack a go, but I sort of can understand why I didn't, because as I said, I couldn't even get her to walk near it at all without her doing her sort of fire breathing dragon impression. So I just left it for another day. I knew I wasn't riding in a good enough way to probably help us get over it, but I did at the end, that's not on camera, just walk and trot her over it in hand, just so that she did go over it, and it wasn't something that we just completely avoided. But loved how we got this distance really nicely every time.